Mind-blowing facts about the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane, often described as the gatekeeper of the cell, is one of the most vital and fascinating structures in biology. Far from being a static wall, it is a dynamic, semi-permeable, and intelligent interface that regulates everything entering or leaving the cell. The more we explore it, the more we uncover how this delicate 7 to 10 nanometer thick layer coordinates the life and health of every cell. The fluid mosaic model, a living structure. The concept that revolutionized cell biology was the fluid mosaic model, proposed by S.J. Singer and Garth Nicolson in 1972. They described the membrane as a two-dimensional fluid mosaic where proteins they float in or on the sea of lipids, much like boats drifting on a liquid surface. Research goal. At Research Goal, you will find research-driven courses that offer real research skills, data analysis training, and publication support. And best of all, it is incredibly affordable, costing less than other platforms. Join Research Goal today for free. Check out the link in the description box. Fluidity allows liquids and proteins to move literally within the layer, enabling flexibility, repair, and vesicle fusion. The term mosaic reflects the patchwork pattern created by different types of proteins and lipids embedded in the membrane. The fluid nature means that membranes can self-heal after minor damage and dynamically reorganize during processes such as endocytosis, exocytosis, and cell signaling. Lipid architecture, the foundation of its flexibility. Three major types of lipids are there: phospholipids, glycolipids, and sterols, mainly cholesterol. They contribute to both structure as well as the function of the cell membrane. Phospholipids are amphipathic, having a hydrophobic, which is water-loving head, and hydrophobic, which is water-repelling tails. This dual nature derives them to form a bilayer, with heads facing outwards and tails inward, creating a stable yet flexible barrier. Cholesterol molecules, they are interspaced between phospholipids. They regulate membrane fluidity. At high temperatures, they prevent excessive movement, and at low temperatures, they prevent the membrane from solidifying. They act as a molecular thermostat. Next is the glycolipids. Although less abundant, almost 2%, they are vital for cell recognition, immune interactions, and maintaining electrical stability across the membrane. Next is the membrane asymmetry. A fascinating property of biological membrane is their asymmetry, where the two layers of lipids, they are not identical. The outer layer is rich in glycolipids and glycoproteins involved in cell recognition and intracellular communication. The inner layer interacts with the cytoskeleton and signaling molecules, maintaining cell shape and transmitting signals inside the cytoplasm. Proteins, the engines of membrane function. Lipids give structure, but proteins give life to the membrane. Membrane proteins account for about 50% of the membrane's mass, and they perform nearly every active function of the membrane. Now let's discuss type of membrane proteins. First is the integral, which is transmembrane proteins. They span the entire lipid bilayer and have both hydrophilic and hydrophobic regions. They function as transporters, ion channels, receptors, and enzymes. The examples are sodium-potassium pump, ATPases. They maintain electrical potential in nerve cells. Next is the lipid-anchored proteins. They are covalently attached to fatty acid chains that insert into the membrane. The examples are G proteins, which play a central role in signal transduction. Next are the peripheral proteins. They attach temporarily to the inner or to the outer surface of the membrane via integral proteins. They function as enzymes, structural anchors, or signal relays. Altogether, these proteins, they transform the membrane from a passive boundary into an active communication and transportation hub. Carbohydrates, the cellular identity system. Carbohydrates, they make up about 2 to 10% of the membrane composition and are mainly found on the external surface, forming the glycocalyx. It's a fuzzy coating that acts as the cell's identity card. They exist as glycoproteins and glycolipids They also play an important role in cell-to-cell recognition, adhesion, and immune defense. Pathogens such as viruses and bacteria often exploit these sugar patterns to bind and enter inside the host cells. Each cell has a unique carbohydrate pattern. For example, blood group antigens AB, and O are determined by the sugars present on RBC's cell membrane. The glycocalyx not only aids recognition but also protects the cell from mechanical as well as from the chemical damage, serving as the first line of defense. Selective permeability. The membrane acts as a smart filter. The plasma membrane is selectively permeable, meaning it regulates what enters and exits the cell. Small non-polar molecules like oxygen, carbon dioxide diffuse freely. Ions and polar molecules like sodium ions, chloride ions, glucose molecules, they require specific channels or specific transporters. Macromolecules, they enter via endocytosis and exit via exocytosis. This regulation ensures homeostasis, that means maintaining the internal environment stability despite external fluctuations. Constant remodeling and membrane that never sleeps. The plasma membrane is not static. It is in continuous flux. New materials, they are constantly added through fusion of vesicles, and old portions, they are removed through vesicle removal. Exocytosis releases hormones, neurotransmitters, and enzymes. Endocytosis, it engulfs nutrients, fluids, and even sometimes whole cells. This constant renewal process ensures that the cell membrane remains functional, flexible, and capable of responding to environmental signals. And finally, the plasma membrane is not just a boundary. It's a living, breathing, decision-making interface that protects, connects, and powers the cell. Every beat of your heart, every nerve impulse, and every immune response depends on its flawless performance. From its fluid lipid bilayer to its selective gates and intelligent receptors, the plasma membrane is one of the biologist's greatest masterpieces, a true symbol of life's sophistication at the microscopic level. Thank you so much for watching the full video, and we will meet in the next one. Take care, everyone.